Hello and welcome one and all to first PUC Tungal online classes. In this class, we will discuss the concept of heat capacity and specific heat capacity of solid, liquid and gases. Let us start the concept heat capacity. See here. We know that when heat is provided to matter, its temperature rises. How much amount of heat given to matter, that much amount of temperature rises. Shall you see how it is? I will take a matter, I will take a substance. Look at me, this is the substance I will take. This is the substance. Here initial temperature is T0. Right? When heat is provided to this substance or to this matter, I want to provide some amount of heat. This is the amount of heat provided to this matter. When amount of heat is provided, how much amount of heat is provided? This much amount of heat is provided. When heat provided to this matter, the temperature T0 changes to T. Then what is change in temperature? The change in temperature can be represented by delta T. It is final temperature minus initial temperature. Simply, how much heat given to body, that much temperature rises, that much change in temperature possible. Heat capacity is the ability of the body to absorb the heat or ability of the body to give the heat. For example, you can take, let us take a cold body. When cold body connected with hot body, heat is a transfer from a hot body to cold body, already we know, right? Or if any body is heated, its temperature rises. If the same body left to cool, its temperature gradually decrease. I mean, heat capacity is the ability of the body to absorb the heat or to release the heat. This ability we are calling heat capacity, or simply heat capacity is the ratio of heat given to body to rise in temperature. How this is? Heat capacity, it is represented by S value. Heat capacity is the ratio of heat given to body to rise in temperature. Right. Then on what factor heat capacity depends? Heat capacity of the material depends on nature of the material, because different material absorb different amount of heat. Iron absorb different amount of heat to change the temperature. Aluminum absorb different amount of heat to change the temperature. I mean, different material have ability to absorb different amount of heat or to give the different amount of heat. ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ವಸ್ತು ಏನದರಿ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಹೀಟ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಅದ. ಭಾಳಷ್ಟು ವಸ್ತುಗಳು ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಹೀಟನ್ನು ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತಂದ್ರೆ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಆದರೆ ಹೀಟ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಇದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಅದ, ಆ ವಸ್ತುವಿನ ನೇಚರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಅದ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ heat capacity is depends on nature, because reason is that the internal structure responsible to absorb the heat or to release the heat. See here, how to write SI of heat capacity. See here, or thermal capacity you can call heat capacity, or you can call the thermal capacity. Q mean amount of heat, it is measured in joule. Temperature is nothing but Kelvin. So what is the SI unit of this? SI unit is the joule per Kelvin. Then how to write dimensional formula of heat capacity? See here, S is equal to Q is nothing but joule. Joule is nothing but energy. Energy means work. What is dimensional formula of the energy or work? mL square T raised to minus 2. Right. Whole divided by delta T is nothing but what value? Kelvin. Then how much amount of dimensional formula is for heat capacity? mL square T raised to minus 2 raised to minus 1. This is the dimensional formula of heat capacity, students. But the material can absorb the heat and can release the heat. On what factor it depends? Initially we know that how much amount of heat provided, that much amount of temperature changes. Lesser the amount of heat provided, lesser the amount of change in temperature possible. The amount of heat absorbed by the body mainly depends on two factors. One is its mass, second one is its change in temperature. We know that let us take two material of same masses, of same nature. I will take two aluminum blocks of same mass. When heat source is provided, how much temperature rises for this material? Same amount of temperature rises for equal masses. But what about for unequal masses? I will take 1 kg of aluminum, this is 10 kg of aluminum. Heat is provided to both. Then what happens? For smaller mass, temperature will rise early. For bigger mass, temperature will rise later. I mean, the amount of heat absorbed by the body, that depends on mass. More the mass, more the change in temperature, and more the amount of heat given to it. That's what. The amount of heat absorbed by the body depends on two factors. Shall I take? Whatever amount of heat given to body, that depends on mass, that depends on change in temperature. ಒಂದು ಬಾಡಿನಿಂದ ಏನು ಹೀಟ್ ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತದ ಅಥವಾ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದ, ಟೂ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಅದ. ಒಂದು ಮಾಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಅದ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಅದರ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತದ ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಅದ. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಹೌ ಟು ಸೇ ದ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೀಟ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಟು ಬಾಡಿ is directly proportional to mass, directly proportional to change in temperature, right? Or the amount of heat given to body equal to some constant mass into delta T, where C is nothing but constant. This constant we are calling specific heat capacity. This constant we are calling specific heat capacity. C is nothing but specific heat capacity. Shall I call this C? C is constant. This constant we are calling specific heat capacity. Specific heat capacity, right? Then this specific heat capacity, how to define? See here, the specific heat capacity can be defined in two ways. We know that heat capacity in what way? S is equal to Q divided by delta T. Shall I write Q divided by delta T mean heat capacity? Then how to write specific heat capacity? It is S divided by mass, right? Specific heat capacity mean the heat capacity per unit mass. Specific heat capacity per unit mass. Or you can define in alternating way also. In what way I can define? If the case mass of the substance is nothing but 1 gram, mass of the substance is 1 gram, and change in temperature is 1 degree Celsius. Change in temperature is 1 degree Celsius. Then how do I write specific heat capacity? Specific heat capacity C is equal to Q. From this how to define? The specific heat capacity is amount of heat required to raise temperature of 1 gram of substance to 1 degree Celsius. Now how define ಮಾಡಬಹುದ್ರಿ specific heat capacity na? Specific heat capacity is the amount of heat required to raise temperature of 1 gram of substance to 1 degree Celsius. Or you can define in another way also. Instead of mass, instead of gram, shall I take it as kg in SI? Instead of degree Celsius, shall I take it as Kelvin? If m is equal to 1 kg, delta T is equal to 1 Kelvin, then C is equal to Q in this equation. And how to say specific heat capacity? Specific heat capacity is amount of heat required to raise temperature of 1 kg of substance to 1 Kelvin. ಒಂದು ವಸ್ತುಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಹೀಟ್ ಬೇಕು? ಒಂದು ವಸ್ತುಗೆ 1 kg ಹೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅದರ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ 1 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ರೈಸ್ ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೀಟ್ ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನು ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಹೀಟ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಹೆಂಗೆ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ಒಂದು ವಸ್ತುವಿನ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ನ 1 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಸೆಲ್ಸಿಯಸ್ 1 ಕೆಲ್ವಿನ್ ರೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅದರ kg 1 ಮಾಸ್ ಇರಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೀಟ್ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಾವೇನು ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಹೀಟ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. See here, specific heat capacity is different for different material. For solid, for liquid and for gases, specific heat capacities are different values. Among solid, liquid and gases, solid has less specific heat capacity and liquids are more specific heat capacity. The specific heat capacity of the gas is lying from solid to liquid. Right. In detail we will see the specific heat capacity of solid, liquid and gases. Right. Now let us take how to write SI unit and how to write dimensional formula of this specific heat capacity. See here. How to write SI unit of this? Directly shall I take here? From this C is equal to heat. Heat is Q. Measured in joule. Mass. It is Kc. Change in temperature is nothing but Kelvin. What is SI unit then? SI unit joule per kg. Joule per kg per Kelvin. It is in SI. Then in CGS, how to define SI unit of specific heat capacity? See here. Shall I take? See, Q mean SI unit of heat is nothing but calorie. Calorie divided by gram. Mass is gram. Delta T is nothing but degree Celsius. Then shall I take directly? Calorie per gram per degree Celsius is nothing but CGS unit of specific heat capacity. This is SI unit of specific heat capacity. Simply, specific heat capacity is nothing but ratio of heat capacity per unit mass or amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of substance through 1 degree Celsius or amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 kg of substance through 1 Kelvin. Right. Later on we will see how the specific heat capacity of solid, liquid and gas are dependent. Before that we will see the one more concept. The concept is molar specific heat capacity. That concept we will see. Molar specific heat capacity. See here, molar specific heat capacity. Molar specific heat capacity. We know that the formula for specific heat capacity. What is the formula here? C is equal to how much? C is equal to Q divided by mass into delta T. This is formula for specific heat capacity. The molar specific heat capacity, it is represented by capital C. Molar specific heat capacity is the product of molecular weight and specific heat capacity. Molecular weight and specific heat capacity. Shall I take here? Molar specific heat capacity is represented by capital C. Represented by capital C. See here. How to say? The product of molecular weight into specific heat capacity. This we are calling specific heat capacity. This we are calling molar specific heat capacity. This molar specific heat capacity can define in alternating way also. How to define here? Look at me. Capital C is equal to how much? Capital M. What is small c? Specific heat capacity. Q divided by how much? Mass into delta T. Right now. Then we know that how to define mole. Mole is equal to mass divided by molecular mass. Mass divided by molecular mass. Reverse of this, how to write them? Capital C is equal to Q divided by mu into how much? Delta T. Correct. From this you can define molar specific heat capacity. See here, one way how to define the product of molecular weight and specific heat capacity. This we are calling molar specific heat capacity. From this how to define? If the substance has 1 mole of substance is there, then if the temperature rises by what value? 1 degree Celsius. Then from this mu is equal to 1, delta T is equal to 1 degree Celsius. Then C is equal to how much? This is Q. Right. From this also you can define molar specific heat capacity. The molar specific heat capacity is the amount of heat required to raise temperature of 1 mole of substance. Temperature of 1 mole of substance to 1 degree Celsius. ಒಂದು ವಸ್ತುಗ 1 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ರೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅದರ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ 1 ಮೋಲ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೀಟ್ ಬೇಕು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನು ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ಮೋಲಾರ್ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಹೀಟ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸಿ ಹಿಯರ್, initially we will write dimensional formula and assign it, then later we will go how the molar specific heat capacity depends and how the specific heat capacity depends. Right? Shall I see here? Look at me. From this out right, C is equal to, capital C is equal to molar specific heat capacity. Capital C is equal to Q. It is nothing but joule. Right. Mu. Mole. Delta T is nothing but Kelvin. Then what is SI unit? Joule per mole per Kelvin. Right. Right or C or no? Now, on what factor specific heat capacity and molar specific heat capacity depends, this we will see now. Look at this formula. In this formula, C is equal to Q divided by M into delta T. And specific heat capacity that depends on mass, depends on change in temperature. Depends on change in temperature. Specific heat capacity mainly depends on three factors. One is the nature of material. Already I said specific heat capacity is different for different metal or different for different material. For solid different, for liquid different, for gases different. Because what happens there? Different material has ability to absorb the different amount of heat. Right? Specific heat capacity depends on mass and change in temperature. But what about molar specific heat capacity? Molar specific heat capacity depends also on change in temperature, but depends on moles. How the moles is depend? You know this equation. See here. Shall I call this equation number 1 now? Or else you can call this is equation 1. We can call this is equation 2. Right. From ideal gas equation. For gas, how to say? For gas generally. PV is equal to how much? This is mu RT, or mu is equal to how much? Mu is equal to PV divided by what value? R into T. Right. What about equation 2 then? See here. Molar specific heat capacity C is equal to Q divided by mu PV into how much? Delta T. Into how much? R into T. See here. Molar specific heat capacity depends on temperature, change in temperature, depends on pressure, depends on volume, but not depends on this temperature. Initial temperature is constant. If Q is constant, R is constant, T is constant. Temperature constant, if R number constant is there, Q also constant. Then the molar specific heat capacity of gases that depends on change in temperature, depends on pressure and volume. Also nature of gas. Now students, we will see separately how the specific heat capacity of solid depends with the temperature, how specific heat capacity of liquid depends on. Similarly, we will see specific heat capacity of gases. One by one we will see now. Now concept is specific heat capacity of solids. Specific heat capacity of solids. Specific heat capacity of solids. See here, generally specific heat capacity is there. C is equal to Q divided by mass into delta T. Mass into delta T. Right. Experimental is found that if a temperature of solid increase, initially its specific heat capacity increase for smaller range of temperature. For smaller range of temperature, initially when temperature of the material increase, specific heat capacity changes. At a particular temperature, the specific heat capacity becomes constant, because reason is that for small temperature, for small range of temperature, if the heat is given to a solid, initially the internal structure of the solid changes, so little bit there is a change in specific heat capacity due to change in value. But when heat is provided more, the volume of the material becomes constant. As a result, specific heat capacity at a particular temperature becomes constant. The temperature at which the specific heat capacity of solid becomes constant, that temperature we are calling debased temperature. How to say? I will take a solid. To the solid I want to provide small amount of heat. Then the temperature changes with a small range. For small range of temperature, initially specific heat capacity increase, then becomes constant. How the graphic you can show? See here. We can call specific heat capacity of solid. We can say specific heat capacity at constant value. We can call. I am calling specific heat capacity at constant value because reason is there for solid. Initially when temperature increases, volume little bit expand, then after volume becomes constant. That's what we can call specific heat capacity. We can call for solid, or for solid we can call specific heat capacity at constant value. We can call. Andre initially temperature raise ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ specific heat capacity increase ಆಗ್ತದೆ solid ಗೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ? ಇನಿಷಿಯಲಿ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ? ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಡ್ತದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನು ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಹೀಟ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಈ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ? ಸಿ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕಾಲ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಸೈ 4 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಸೆಲ್ಸಿಯಸ್, 10 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಸೆಲ್ಸಿಯಸ್, 40 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಸೆಲ್ಸಿಯಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕಾಲ್, 100 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಸೆಲ್ಸಿಯಸ್. Right? When temperature increase initially increase, specific heat capacity little bit change at a particular temperature. At a particular temperature, the specific heat capacity becomes constant. Specific heat capacity becomes constant at this point. Specific heat capacity becomes constant. The temperature where the specific heat capacity becomes constant, that temperature we are calling debye temperature. See here, initially with the temperature increase, specific heat capacity of solid will increase, and at a particular temperature the specific heat capacity becomes constant at this temperature. This temperature we are calling debye temperature. How to say debye temperature? Theta d debye temperature. Debye temperature. What this is? The temperature at which specific heat capacity of solid becomes constant, that temperature we are calling debye temperature. Regarding specific heat capacity of solids, two famous laws are there. One is Dulong and Pettit law, and second one is Debay's law. Let us see the both laws separately. See here. First one is Dulong and Pettit law. Dulong and Pettit law. Pettit law. This law says that regarding specific heat capacity of solids, this law says that the specific heat capacity of nearly all solids at room temperature is constant, which is equal to 3R. I mean, at a room temperature, the specific heat capacity of nearly all metals are constant, and that constant is equal to 3R. This law we are calling Dulong and Pettit law. Experimentally it is found, not theoretically. Experimentally you can say the specific heat capacity of all the solids at room temperature becomes constant, and that constant is equal to 3 into R. Okay, R we are calling gas constant. Shall I see the statement here? The average you can call, I mean the average molar specific heat capacity of solids, this becomes constant at a room temperature. What about the statement? Statement says that the average molar specific heat capacity, average molar specific heat capacity, average molar specific heat capacity of solids at room temperature, room temperature is constant, which is equal to 3 into R. This statement we are calling Dulong and Pettit law. See here R mean gas constant already is there. Its value is how much? 8.31 joule per mole per calorimeter call. Right? So providing 3 into R, 3 into this value, around the room temperature may be 26, 27, 28 degrees Celsius for solid this is. Then one more law is there. That law we are calling Debay's law. Debay's law. Debay experimentally found that at very low temperature, the molar specific heat capacity of solid directly proportional to cube of the temperature. What this is? The molar specific heat capacity of nearly all the solids at a low temperature directly proportional to cube of the temperature. See here. What the statement here? At a low temperature, at a very low temperature, at a very low temperature, the molar specific heat capacity, heat capacity directly proportional to cube of the temperature. That is molar specific heat capacity of solid capital C directly proportional to cube of the temperature, provided temperature must be very low. Or molar specific heat capacity equal to constant into Tq, where constant K we are calling Debye constant. The constant K we are calling Debye constant. This is what? Molar specific heat capacity of solid. For solid how it is? Initially when temperature increases slightly, specific heat capacity increases, then becomes constant at a particular temperature. Say this temperature, molar specific heat capacity becomes constant. Right. Now later we will see specific heat capacity of liquids. Specific heat capacity of liquid. See here. Specific heat capacity of liquid or water can be. Specific heat capacity of water type of liquid. Right. See here. We know that in previous class we have learnt about anomalous property of water. Similarly, water has special property. The property is whatever amount of heat given to water, it absorbs large amount of heat and the temperature small amount changes. Similarly, whatever heat taken from the water, how much amount of heat taken from the water, it gives large amount of heat, but temperature will small amount changes. I mean, the amount of heat given to water or amount of heat taken from the water, it takes a large amount of heat or gives a large amount of heat, but temperature will rise by small amount or temperature will fall by small amount. This is the special property of water. So, among all the liquids, the water has a more specific heat capacity. I mean, per kg per Kelvin it absorb or it give 4200 joule per kg per Kelvin heat. So water has maximum amount of specific heat capacity. On what basis? Whatever heat given to water or whatever heat taken from the water, temperature will rise by small amount or temperature will fall by small amount. This is special property of water. Then how the specific heat capacity of water will change? Initially, when temperature increases from 0 to 37 degrees Celsius, specific heat capacity of water will decrease, and the specific heat capacity get a minimum at temperature 37 degrees Celsius. But after 37 degrees Celsius, if temperature increase, then specific heat capacity becomes constant at 100 degrees Celsius. This is the special behavior of the water. So water used as a coolant. Water used as a coolant for vehicles or for machines, or we can for nuclear reactor also water act as a coolant. Because this property what? Whatever amount of heat absorbed, whatever amount of heat taken from the water, temperature will rise or fall by small amount. ಎಷ್ಟು heat ಕೊಟ್ರೆ temperature small amount increase ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಎಷ್ಟು heat ತಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ temperature small amount ನೇ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Then how the specific heat capacity depend? Shall I say graphically? Along the y-axis, I will take specific heat capacity of water. Along x-axis, I will take the temperature. See here, this is specific heat capacity of water. Initially, temperature is how much? Here temperature may be 10 degree. Here temperature may be how much? 37 degree. Here temperature may be 50 degree. Here temperature how much? 100 degree. Right. Here specific heat capacity is 0.096. Here temperature how much? 1.00. Here temperature how much? 1.004. Here temperature how much? 1.008. Right? What I said? When temperature increases from 0 to 37 degrees Celsius, specific heat capacity of water is decreased. When water heated from 0 to 37 degrees Celsius, specific heat capacity of the water decreases at a particular temperature. This temperature, say 37 degrees Celsius. The water has a minimum specific heat capacity. Minimum specific heat capacity. Later, when temperature increases from 37 to 100 degrees Celsius, the specific heat capacity is maximum. Where the maximum? Specific heat capacity maximum at 100 degrees Celsius. This is variation of specific heat capacity of water with the temperature. Special property there. From 0 to 37 degrees Celsius, temperature increases, specific heat capacity falls, minimum at this temperature. Then from 37 to 100 degrees Celsius, specific heat capacity get a maximum. At this point it is maximum. So this is what. And what is the specific heat capacity of the water? Specific heat capacity of the water 4200 joule per kg. Joule per kg per Kelvin. Right. Now we will see the specific heat capacity of gas. Specific heat capacity of gas. Gases. Shall I see? See here. Now I will take small amount of ideal gas in a vessel. Look at me. Shall I take this vessel? Vessel I will take. In this vessel, small amount of gas or 1 mole of gas or few mole of gas you can take. This is nothing but the gas. Right. When heat is provided to gas. This much amount of heat is provided. This temperature I guess actually T0 is the initial temperature, T is the final temperature. How to get the specific heat capacity here? C is equal to how much? Q divided by mass into delta T. What is delta T? Final temperature minus initial temperature. Students, the gases can be heated under two conditions. One is at constant pressure and second one is at constant value. We know that how to define specific heat capacity of gas here. Shall I take here? If the gas mass of the gas is equal to 1 gram, change in temperature is equal to 1 degree Celsius, Then from this equation m is equal to 1, delta T is equal to 1, C is equal to Q. Right? How to say? Specific heat capacity of the gas is the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of gas through 1 degree Celsius. Amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of gas through 1 degree Celsius. This we are calling specific heat capacity of gas. But already I said that gases can be heated under two conditions. One is under at constant pressure, second one is at constant volume. See here. The gas can be heated under two conditions. One is what? Under pressure is constant or under volume is constant. See here, separately I will take. Look at it. See here, how to take separately. I will take this, nothing but the gas I will take. Right? This is the gas. The gas can be heated under volume as constant. Volume as constant. Or the gas can be heated under pressure as constant. Pressure as constant. Now volume are constant ತಗೋಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ pressure ಅನ್ನು constant ತಗೋಬಹುದು. Because to take the volume as constant and pressure as constant, we have a lot of application we will learn in thermodynamics. See here. Question is how to define specific heat capacity at constant value and how to define specific heat capacity at constant pressure. How to replace this equation? See here. How to replace? At constant pressure, Cp is equal to Q divided by how much? M into delta T. Again, mass of the gas is 1 gram, delta T is equal to 1 degree Celsius. Then Cp is equal to how much? Q. This we are calling specific heat capacity at constant pressure. Specific heat capacity at constant pressure. Then specific heat capacity at constant pressure, how to define? Specific heat capacity at constant pressure is the amount of heat required to changes temperature of 1 gram of gas through 1 degree Celsius at constant pressure. How to say? The amount of heat required to increase the temperature of 1 gram of gas through 1 degree Celsius at constant pressure is called as specific heat capacity at constant pressure. Similarly, how to define specific heat capacity at constant value? How to change this equation? See here, Cp is equal to Q divided by M into delta T. Again, mass of the gas is 1 gram and temperature is 1 degree Celsius. Then Cv equal to, how to write? Cv equal to Q. What is Cv? Specific heat capacity at constant volume. The specific heat capacity at constant volume is amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of substance through 1 degree Celsius at constant volume. At constant pressure, at amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of gas through 1 degree Celsius at constant pressure is called as specific heat capacity at constant volume. On the other hand, amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of gas through 1 degree Celsius at constant volume is called as specific heat capacity at constant volume. But question is, among Cp and Cv, which is greater? I mean, more amount of heat is provided at constant pressure to change the temperature, lesser amount of heat is provided to change the temperature at constant volume. Directly, the specific heat capacity at constant pressure is greater than specific heat capacity at constant volume. ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಹೀಟ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಅಟ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಎದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಹೀಟ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಅಟ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಹೆಂಗ್ರಿ ಇದು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು? ಸಿ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಅಟ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ, ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್. ಸೇಮ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೇಕ್, ರೈಟ್? ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಐಡಿಯಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್. Ideal gas I can take. When heat is provided at constant pressure. When heat is provided at constant pressure, the heat uses in two ways. Some part of the heat is used to increase the volume. Some part of the heat is used to increase in volume. Increase in volume of gas. And remaining part of the heat is used to increase the temperature. Increase in temperature. I mean, whatever amount of heat given here, this heat uses in two ways at constant pressure. Some part of the heat is used to increase in volume, some part of the heat is used to increase in temperature of the gas. Two ways are used at constant pressure. But at constant volume, what happens? Let us take at constant volume. See here, same gas I will take. Again I will take ideal gas. This is the amount of gas. This is the amount of gas I will take. I want to provide some amount of heat. Whatever heat given to system, here volume remain constant, no change in volume because we are maintaining at constant volume. What about this? At constant pressure, at constant P. Here what is mean? At a constant volume, constant V. Whatever amount of heat given to gas, all the amount of heat is used to increase only the temperature. Only used to increase in temperature. Here there is no changing value. At constant value what happened? Whatever amount of heat given to gas, all the amount of heat is used to increase the temperature of the gas. So here lesser amount of heat required. At what value? At constant value. But what about at constant pressure? At constant pressure you are defining this whatever amount of heat given is used in two ways. One is to some part of the heat is used to increase volume of the gas and remaining part of the heat is used to increase the temperature. So the more amount of heat required at constant pressure, less amount of heat required at constant volume. That's what I can call specific heat capacity at constant pressure greater than specific heat capacity at constant volume. On the other hand, at constant pressure, we need more amount of heat than at constant volume. So, these are the concepts concerned to specific heat capacity of solid, liquid and gases. The further concept we will see in the next class. Thank you, students.